A very good morning to all the aspirants of UPSC, and this is Shaheen IAS Academy, Bidar, which is launching daily current affairs programs for benefited of serious aspirants of UPSC preparation. This is very interesting topic today. We are going to have in-depth discussion on it, which is going to give you complete knowledge to that, to the aspirants to understand the dialogue between India and other countries who are being a part and parcel of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. First, I'll just take you to understand what is Shanghai Cooperation, how the origin takes place. First, if you see this in the year of 1996, the first idea generated in the mind of South cooperation countries like China, if you could see that Russia, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, all the 5 countries for the first time sat together to understand about the future progress. In the year of 1995, they have come up with a new idea which is called Shanghai 5. What is that? Shanghai 5. The Shanghai 5 and aim is to develop all these, that an organization, countries which are near and dear to the China, and also at the same time, which countries actually we have much natural resources, and also at the same time, how to see the progress of them in the future. So as in the 1996, if you could see the 5 countries, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, you can see in the screen, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, and China sat together to decide the Shanghai 5 from there and there. And the Shanghai 5 in the year of 2001, it have changed into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization after included of this Uzbekistan. Completely since in 2001, we have started to call this Shanghai Cooperation Organization from Shanghai 5 countries. So the main aim of this that to develop all the countries as quickly as possible by utilizations of all the natural resources of them, and also at the same time to aim it combat the terrorism, and also that to combat religious extremism in the world. So in the era of, if you could see, since 1996 to 2001, it has turned into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Soon after that, it changed into in the year of 2017, and the first round of expansions which took place for the first time. And India and Pakistan were invited by all these countries, and in the year of 2017, India took complete membership into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. With that, on almost 10 countries, it becomes a members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. You can see on the screen all of that. If you see that Belarus, and also that here you can see Kazakhstan, again, if you could see that Russia, Uzbekistan, Iran, Pakistan, India, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, China, all these members have become the permanent members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. If you could see this importance of all these countries, I'll just take you to that, and here, and Russia and China and India, if all these 3 countries, if you could see, and everybody will think that this is again, it's a one kind of a curiosity, all the members, that if these 3 members coming together, there may be a chances to make a huge progress across the worldwide. Like for example, if you see Russia, already it's a developed country, you can consider. The most of it's an economy which is depends on defense and military. When it comes to the point of China, is a fast growing country, already is considered to be as a developed country in terms of economy. And also at the same time, India, which is considered to be as one of the one of the more population countries in the world. And as 3 members, if you could see entire in the Eurasian and region, if you see all these 3 countries, if you see this Russia, which is sharing a border of European continent as well as an Russian continent. If these 2 countries in the Eurasian part, if you could see in terms of geography, in terms of population, these 2 countries are having an highest geographical and occupancy as well as highest number of manpower with the population we can consider. When India joined with all these 3 organizations, you can imagine that, and it is a step which is against the and superpower countries where they can do better for the future of the and world. As the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and which started its genesis in the year of 1996, soon after that there's an expansion which took place in the year of 2017, and almost, and I mean 2022 again the Uzbekistan came into the and part of it, and by 2023 and 2024 till today, if you could see 2025, on all the 10 member countries this took place as a part of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And every year it sits for the discussion, it convened the meeting in order to check the and progress of all these countries, and also discuss about the any of a future initiative will be there. So as a part of it, recently, I mean in August 31st and September 1, 2 days of summit which took place in the Tianjin area of and China, which all the members of Shanghai Cooperation took place and discuss about future and progress of these countries. Now, what actually this taken place here? The first of all, we'll see before the takeaways of 25th summit of and this SCO, we try to understand what actually made for what is the vision of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. You can see here, and it was established in 2001 by China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. The core idea of it, if you could see that, enhance regional security, foster economic cooperation and combat terrorism in Central Asia. This was the three and main important things was there, which work for the and this in order to look forward for the progress of them, and also at the same time to major issue and across the worldwide that combat terrorism. All these countries have taken challenge and also the working for that since 2001 to till today, and 2025 all the countries are working for the combating of terrorism. And also if you see this, the governance and how it actually work for that. Generally Shanghai Cooperation Organization, if you could see that, and here the governance which takes place, that main focus which will be on the regional development of them, like all the 10 countries, whatever the part and parcel of that, and they have taken and also that a step in order to focus of them, in order to progress of all these countries. And also at the same time, what are the security issues are there among all these countries in the sense, means the first one, if you could see, regional terrorism and ethnic separatism, religious extremism. The SCV and SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, primarily focuses on these three security issues in order to tackle them out. The first one is that regional terrorism. See, if you could see, the most of the countries, even if it is a developed countries, even if it is an underdevelopment countries, if the countries which consist of this a kind of an apprehension in terms of terrorism, it is going to become a tough job for them to and see the progress in the country. In order to that, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has taken very important and issues in order to tackle them. Among that, the first one is the regional terrorism and combating. When it comes to the second one, here the ethnic separatism. You know that here, if you could see, most of the countries in today in the world which are and having a conflict between one another country in terms of ethnic issues. As such, if it could become and neighbor countries, the ethnic and issues will come often because of there may be a chances to see cultural exchanges between the one another country. So also, since all these members are a neighborhood and they have taken and primary focus on them, and after the regional terrorism, they have taken to combat this ethnic separatism in order to bring and everybody under one roof. And then also the same time religious extremism. See, as since if you could see, here the entire this Shanghai Cooperation Organization, if you could see, Russia has its one ideology, China has its another ideology, and if you could see, India has its own ideology. All these ideologies which they did not give an importance, but they gave one importance to them in order to bring the single ideology that is work for the progress of the all the countries which is being a part and parcel of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So as such, these three focuses which have taken by the Shanghai Cooperation Organization initially to work on them, to tackle them. Next one, who will be there to look after this? Generally, there will be a structure will be there. If you could see the structure of that, heads of state council will be there, which it can be called it as in short form HSC, and also at the same time it has an authority in order to supervise, and also at the same time, and it takes the complete responsibility to decision making of it, whatever the decisions which takes and everything which can be and discussed, and the complete and decisions and high decision making body, this if any kind of the meetings or if any kind of the objectives which is going to be added, that it shall be decided by the and heads of the state council, which it can be called it as an HSC. And if you could see emblem of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization, you can see here two languages on the, and here the first one is that, I think you know that here one is that, and Russia, another one is the Chinese only. If you see, only two languages will be there officially as a part of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. One is a Russian, another one is in Chinese. There may be a chance to ask the questions, and which of the following languages are to be considered as official languages of Shanghai Cooperation Organization? You need to remember that the one is in Russian, and also at the same time, then here is that, and you can see Chinese is that these two languages is considered to be as an official languages of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, it's a very, very important structure as a part of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is that RATS. What is it, RATS? Everybody need to understand this. RATS is that R stands for Regional Anti-Terroristic Structure. And it's a very, very important organization, as if you could see the initially, and as a security issues, if you could see here, the Shanghai Cooperation has taken very utmost issue in order to tackle that is, and terrorism combating. If you could see here is that Regional Anti-Terroristic Structure, it's a one structure of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Here, all a permanent organ of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and headquarter which is located of RATS is at Tashkent, which is a capital city of Uzbekistan. And it serves to promote cooperation of member states against the three evils. One is that, as I have said already, regional terrorism, ethnic separatism, religious extremism, which means, on the basis of regionality, in order to protect their regions, there may be a chances to come out of the such organization which creates the violence. The main focus of this Shanghai Cooperation is that all the countries to be treated as a one group, and they must be under one roof. There is no doubt about it that, and the one country can, and that promote this regional terrorism, all of that. In keeping in view of that, the first primary focus is has taken under the RATS is that regional and terrorism combat. The next one is that ethnic separatism. This has become so much of, a fear, and in order to combat that, ethnic means cultural related issues, and also at the same time a kind of wearing related issues and food style related issues, anything which comes as a part of the ethnic separatism, this is mainly focused on that to combating of it. So which means RATS, Regional Anti-Terroristic Organization, has taken three certain responsibilities that to work on to combat them. Among them, the first one is an regional terrorism, ethnic separatism, religious extremism. All those three things, and which is going to be and work on to combat this three things, and to make the entire 10 countries to be as a welfareistic and happiest countries in the world. Next, if you go to that, the another topic under the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, after the structure of this, if you see here exactly, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the secretariat headquarters are located to the Beijing. It's a capital city of China, and also at the same time, this was actually, I already have told the genesis of the Shanghai Cooperations which have took place. So far, how many member countries we have by 2025? You can see the 10 member countries we have, and 17 partner countries we have under this. Already I told about the structure of that, the major goals of and objectives of it, and it related to security related concern, and also at the same time resolving border issues, and military cooperation and intelligence sharing, exercise peaceful mission hosted by Russia. For the first time, apart from a Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Russia has taken certain responsibility to conduct and a kind of military cooperation and intelligence sharing, and this was done in the year of 2021, and where in order to bring the security system in all the countries of it. And the next, if you could see here is that, if you go with this, the SCO's growth from regional to global influence, if you could see, it has since 2001, if you could see, it has expanded many of them. And SCO grew will include India, Pakistan, Iran, Belarus by 2025 is signifying its expanding influence to them, because day to day, if you could see, Shanghai Cooperation Organizations has become so much of importance in the world. And also if you could see global reach, what is the, status of the global reach of that, how much it is influencing to the other part of the world means, now both observer states and dialogue partners from 14 countries across the Asia beyond, if you could see this 2025 summit, after that, it is also expanded. It is went up to the 17 countries which are being a part and parcel of the partner countries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And also at the same time, if you see SCO's strategic role in global geopolitics, it's a very, very important, and how Shanghai Cooperation Organization is taking certain responsibility to that global geopolitics. It's a very, very important topic. See, here is that envisions to SCO as a model for new international relations moving beyond the traditional US-led system. And whatever the US system, like such as, it's moving against that. Already United States of America has bought in NATO, North Atlantic Treaty of Organization. It's a military organization which has been influencing to the countries. As instead of that, the traditional aspect, it is moving for the only development of the countries and all of that. When you see the key initiatives of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, mainly it focuses on trade, in establishing SCO Development Bank, and also conducting joint security drills under the RATS framework. RATS means, already I have said, Regional Anti-Terroristic Structure is a part of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now this is all about, we have discussed about genesis of the and Shanghai Cooperation Organization, how it has transformed from 1996 to 2025. Today it consists of 10 member countries and 17 partner countries. Today we have the main focus which is working for the progress of all the countries and all of that. Then today, if you see the, and 2025 has become so much of an important year in the history of the Shanghai Cooperation, that if you see why this is so much of important to us, and this 25th summit, already if you could see, since 2001, since 2017, India have been attending the meetings of the and Shanghai Cooperation, but soon after there was some issues which has take place between India and China in terms of border. Since it's about 7 years till today, the India's Prime Minister did not visit to the China, and for the summits of any of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, this is the first time that India's Prime Minister took charge to step into the China and for attending the SCO 25th Summit in Tianjin, and China's, it's being a part and parcel of the China. And if you could see, hosted by the China for the 5th time, and including since right from beginning to till now, and the summit is going to held from 31st August to September 1 in 2025. This is only 2 days summit. Over 20 world leaders, including Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping, are confirmed attendees of this 25th summit. And here, the major thing which is going to take historical bilateral talks, which is going to focus on this. This summit marks their first direct bilateral talk since 2018, because after the 2018, there was a certain clashes which have taken place between India and as well as China, which is a geo and political tussle which we have taken place, like 2017 we had Doklam issue. It's a tri-junction area between Bhutan, India, China, and there were a lot of a kind of disappointment takes place between the one another country, which results in stuck of the relation between the India and China. The soon after, if you could see, the 2017, the severity which continues the influence till 2019, again in the 2020, the Galwan crisis also, which is one of the geopolitical tension which is took place between the one another country, that stops India to go to the China. However, all those things aside it, but today the India's Prime Minister decided to make India to be a progress in the economic corridor, and as well as to in order to boost the trade relations between the one another country. As since this summit is going to highlight the focus on historical bilateral talks and also that commitment to resolution, both the leaders have expressed commitment to finding the that mutual acceptable resolution for long-standing boundary issues. We have since 1950 to till today, whatever the boundary issues we have, right from Kashmir to up to the Arunachal Pradesh, whatever the issues we have, both the leaders have sat and mutually and had a bilateral talks on it to look forward for resolve the issues, whatever the eternal issues are there in the geopolitical and issues between India and China. This summit is going to pave the way for and resolve such issues. This discussions which have taken place. And also at the same time, in this summit 2025, if you could see, since border dynamics were a lot of issues between India and China, if you could see here, like building on the 2020 Galwan issue already, I said it has been taken place, and this also border disengagement issues also has been happened in 2024. All the issues are going to be and look forward for resolve very peacefully between India and Chinese representatives in the as a part of 25th summit of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The another important and the minutes of Shanghai Cooperation may be taken place, that trade and tariff. Like the whole world is shivering the tariff system of United States of America. For that, one paranoia that I can show you here is that since if you could see, Indian Prime Minister is loves to praise the USA President, as in terms of that, there is a one famous cartoonist have that published in one of the newspapers in India, that I can read it of that and how tariff issues has been going on across India. Like that India's Prime Minister picture which denotes that he loves India, he was all praises and tariff pe tarif ki hai, but Prime Minister but President of India ने सोचा कि और सुना कि ये तारीफ है. तो जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया तो तारीफ कर रहे थे प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका का, वो टैरिफ में चेंज हो गई, जैसा कि 50% के टैरिफ बढ़ गए. तो दिस हैज बिकम अ फाइनेस्ट एंड रॉन्ग स्टेप टुवर्ड्स द इंडिया दैट हैव टेकन बाय द यूएसए प्रेसिडेंट एंड Trump. This has become very severe geopolitical pressure on India. Then that was also one of the reasons to that India's Prime Minister have stepped into the SCO and bilateral talks with China and Russia's president. However, looking ahead, SCO's future India's Chinese partnership, if you could see, India and China is going to close relations now in order to work for betterment of and economical trade, and as well as to that, in order to that other manufacturing sectors to be developed in India, in order to that, and all these issues are going to be solved under this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So if you see this, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization has become one of the important summit in the history of India and in the history of China, and as such today we got it lot of bilateral talks, and further I think already the minutes of meetings has come. We'll also discuss another thing, but today's in the class we have discussed all about it, SCO origin and it's an aim, and as well as 25th summit of and the Shanghai cooperations and all of that. In the brief, I have given an information to you. Thank you so much for listening this class. Please and noted it all the points which will be helpful for you to crack the UPSC examination. It's a fantastic information to you to know about your GS, General Studies paper writing in the mains examination. Thank you very much.